Nepotism. I'm sure you've experienced it. You probably watching or probably a Nepo baby. Is nepotism actually beneficial or does it hinder the Nepo baby?
I think in most cases, nepotism it's a hindrance more than it is a help. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the sportscaster by the name of Jack Collinsworth, son of Chris Brady. I'm sorry, Chris Collinsworth.
No, it's Chris Mahomes now.
Chris Mahomes. Okay. No offense, Chris. Love your work, but
I don't.
You're biased, dude. Super biased. So Jack, he took over from Mike Tirico. He was play-by-play guy for Notre Dame football. Did a horrible job and was unceremoniously fired because in his case, it's not because he lacks talent. It's because of his last name. He was pushed a little bit too fast. And unfortunately, with Nepo babies, this is what happens. Because of your last name and the legacy before you, they assume that, hey, you're just going to take off running, and everybody doesn't. You know, especially if you don't have the same motivators that your father or your mother or whomever you're benefiting from had.
You know, most of these billionaires and rich people, when the child inherits the fortune, it usually goes downhill.
Yes.
Because the child didn't go and put the work ethic that the parent did to get that fortune. And so they're handed this amount of money, and they're just like, "Oh man, this is great."
I'm the boss now.
Yeah, they can't sign off,
Maintain
and then it usually
the lifestyle.
Yeah, then it usually goes downhill. I mean, let's look at it currently, and the one that was shoved in our face for goddamn a year, LeBron James.
This might be fun for LeBron. Nobody in America cares that
Mad
Bronny
dog.
James played 3 minutes and grabbed 1 rebound. Now, and I love the kid. All right, we know we had the major issue at USC, and LeBron's great. He's an all-timer. He's always been a phenomenal player. He stays out of trouble. Who doesn't like LeBron? I mean, he's not Jordan.
Me
But
too.
the idea that he put him in for 3 minutes, he grabbed him, he had a couple of shots, and this is the greatest moment in professional sports.
Mad
I mean, we got to
dog.
be serious.
They made history.
Sorry, folks.
Guys.
I ain't buying it.
Now, let me say something. LeBron's a jerk. All right, he's a jerk.
Explain why.
Because ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Hey, well, okay.
Let's leave Diddy out of this.
Hey, he said it though. But look, man, exploiting your kids is crazy to me. I know some people might look at it and be like, "No, Basile, you're exaggerating it." Your kid doesn't want to play basketball. At least Bronny doesn't.
I think he might be a little bit apprehensive because of the heart complication he had when he was in school. So my thing is like,
Which is another thing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why do you
like,
draft this guy? You probably could have signed him as a free agent.
Yeah, like that's like to go through something like that at such a young age, and then be able to try to have your father put you in a position where you got to push yourself amongst men that been in the league for a minute. It's a whole different level. So I think there might be apprehension there, and then also I heard he's a big gamer. And like esports is like blowing up, so it's kind of just like, and wasn't it LeBron fighting for him to have a Fortnite character or something?
No, it's
now?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty character. So it's like if you're gonna push your son and use your platform to give him an edge, give him something that he's genuinely passionate for and can make some serious dough in as well.
Let me ask you a question. Does this sound familiar to you? This is LeVar Ball 2.0. It's kind of a similar situation. You had Lonzo, and when Lonzo was playing, he didn't look like he was having fun. He came out, struggled early, right? Unfortunately, now he's dealing with some knee issues, but he eventually found his footing. LaMelo, like you mentioned with Bryce, seemed like he took off immediately. The difference is, to me, the amount of pressure and the attitude of each son, because LaMelo, just from the outside, he looks like he doesn't care. He's out there like, okay, my dad is going to say this, I'm going to be myself. Whereas Lonzo, I felt the pressure to live up to his dad's expectations, and maybe the same thing is going on with Bronny, where you push him so fast, and this is where, like I said earlier, with nepotism, you don't give the person a chance to earn it. You're giving it to him, and now you're putting them in your shadow constantly. You give it to him, and now it's like, okay, well, I really wasn't ready for it, but I have to live up to it. If your child is a professional athlete, just shut up, because you're not the person that has to go out there and perform. At the end of the day, everybody's here. Oh yeah, he's going to give everybody 30. Oh, he's better than half the point guards in the league. They're going to try to murder your son every game.
The other side of that is actually the kid.
Yeah,
because we're talking about the parent now. The kid do you think that, to that point, how much disappointment do you think the kid feels if they don't live up to the expectation of the parent? And do you think that he has regrets, not even just Bronny in general, but just Nepo babies? Is there regrets that they're in the positions that they're in? Because some celebrities, they just flat out like, oh, I know I'm a Nepo baby. Like Maya Hawke has openly said that about her career. Yeah, I'm a Nepo baby. Like there's no Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. I wouldn't be here in the position I'm at acting wise if it wasn't for them. It is what it is.
I think Nepo babies that, like you were saying, you were mentioning some actors and actresses that, spoke to their nepotism and how they were in the position. Ayo Edebiri, she plays Sydney on The Bear. I don't know if you guys watch The Bear or whatever.
Yeah.
She's openly been on the carpet just talking about, yeah, I'm a Nepo baby, but I've used that platform to level up. Like she's been writing, directing, producing. So she openly talks about being a Nepo baby, but she puts her money where her mouth is. And she's like, oh no, if they don't want to make this, I'll write and produce it. I'll do it, to where she speaks to her nepotism, but she uses it as a platform to essentially grow. This is her saying it in an interview. I don't know what she's personally done. I know she's won a couple of awards like Screen Actors Guild Award, Golden Globe, but the fact that she has made those accomplishments in the industry, that's respect to a Nepo baby. That's kind of keeping it on 100 and putting, walking the walk and talking the talk. But then you got some Nepo babies to where, that, like you said, they were in positions to where they were like, I don't know if I should be here. Case in point, they just did that whole Menendez series. These kids were given everything on a silver platter, and I guess the perspectives of it on a wholesale point was disappointment because their father wanted them to be something that they couldn't live up to. And we all know how that story ended, And then I think it's when you're raising your kids in a nepotism situation, giving them perspective. Like, don't keep them in that bubble to where it's just like it's all sweet and good. Because once real life hits them and they get the bag from the trust fund or whatever, it's just like, oh, I don't know how to swim. We sinking now, So it's just levels to it.
Put the sports entertainment to the side for a second. I have a daughter. You guys, you have yet to make people, and I can't wait till you do because I'm going to give them all the noise-making toys I can find. When you guys have kids and are in position, will you put your kids in position? Like, I mean, that's a real question because, like, for me, I'm not going to lie. With my daughter, yeah, I'm going to help her as much as I can. Whatever I can do to make her life easier, I'm going to do. However, like, to your point, Travis, I'll make sure she knows, hey, baby, this is not normal. You need to, even though I'm going to open doors for you, I'm not going to walk through them and pull you through. This is the opportunity. Now you need to earn it. And if you don't earn it, I'll always be able to push you back up and hopefully open up another door for you. But you still have to do your part, right?
In terms of raising my child, there's definitely going to be that discipline and humility. I think there needs to be a perspective out there of like, hey, this is how people have it out there. And this is how you have it out there. Whether they need to go volunteer at a food, a shelter or whatever the case may be, I want to make sure that it's ingrained that, oh man, like I have it well off compared to other people. And with that, hopefully at a young age, they're able to see that. And with that, they're able to take that memory and be like, hey, I am in the position I'm in, but I'm grateful to be in it because I could have been worse off. So
the volunteering was a big thing. That's what gave me a lot of perspective as a kid, like doing Big Addies, giveaways back when I was young. My mom made me do those. But then also everything like I got from my parents, it was also given out of love, but then also I had to earn it. When you wake up, make your bed, brush your teeth, you got dishes, you got trash, you learn to cut the grass now. So there was little things I learned.
Those little blisters you used to get right there on your finger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, that was
oh my
terrible.
gosh, it's horrible.
Skin would peel.
It was horrible. And then we had a dishwasher, but I washed all the dishes by hand. You know what I mean? So there was little things, but my mom taught me like, hey, I'm giving you this money, but this is when you're going to open your first bank account. This is when so there's little things that I think can come to having resources to spoil your child to some degree or give them means that allow them, opportunities in life that others might not have, but giving them, like I said, perspective. The volunteering thing is very big. And also how your child reacts. Being able to understand that too, because there's been instances to where I've seen brothers in families, one gets something the other doesn't, and their reactions are differently when it comes to one being more grateful, docile, quiet, and the other just being like, this isn't good enough. And you know how that goes in certain, what?
Yeah.
Well, also to that effect, if they don't get what they want, how they spaz out just publicly.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like,
well,
adults do that, and you're just like, what's wrong with you? Who raised you? And then now you know.
No one raised them.
Yeah,
They're adult children.
True. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you want to see the full episode of Late Night Bmore, check the link in the description. Thanks for watching.